Welcome to Middle School Academic Derby. I'm Brent Anderson, and I'll be your moderator for today's match between the Pirates from Swansboro Middle School and the Falcons from Trexler Middle School. Let's get started by introducing our teams, and we're going to begin with our team from Trexler Middle School, coached by Susan Rogers.
Allison Bundle.
Michaela Selby, 8th grade.
Caroline Cubis, 7th grade.
Riley Stone, 8th grade.
And now our team from Swansboro Middle School, coached by Retta Meyer and Rosemary Adams.
John Henderson, 7th grade.
Drew Nicorak, 6th grade.
Alex Rivera, 8th grade.
Ty Hicks, 8th grade.
Now in our first round, we're going to ask 7 questions to each team. If the first team doesn't answer, the second team will have a chance at the same question. Now after the first team has heard all their questions and had a chance to answer, the second team is going to have the same opportunity. We're going to begin with our team on the top row, which is Swansboro Middle School, and Swansboro here is the first of your first round questions. It is a science question. In engineering and construction, what type of body or structure does not deform when placed under stress or force? The correct response begins with the letter R. All right, Trexler? All right, nobody on that one. Rigid. Rigid is the correct answer. We're looking there. Okay, Swansboro, your second question is a history question. Presented as a gift from the French, this American landmark's formal name is Liberty Enlightening the World. What is the more common name of this, Drew?
Statue of Liberty.
That is correct. Common name of the structure. All right. Next question for you, Swansboro, is a literature question. In mythology, which terrifying creature would terrorize travelers to the city of Thebes by flying down, blocking their way, and posing a riddle? If they could not answer the riddle, the penalty was death. John?
A sphinx.
That is correct. Next question we have for you is an English question, Swansboro. Spell the name for the device used in the execution of Louis XVI in the French Revolution. Spell guillotine. All right, nobody there. Trexler, how about you guys? Caroline.
Guillotine.
That is correct. All right. Next, we have a mathematics question for you, Swansboro. And with our math questions, we will read the question twice, and you're going to have some extra time to come up with the answer. So pencil and paper ready. A new watch valued at $120 is now on sale for 10% off. What is the sale price of the watch? Again, a new watch valued at $120 is now, Drew?
$108.
That is correct, $108. All right, Swansboro, you have a geography question next. The southwest boundary of this U.S. state is formed by the Savannah River. Identify this state whose major Atlantic port city is Charleston. Drew?
South Carolina.
That is correct. And the final question for you, Swansboro, in this round is a trivia question. In computer terminology, what is the meaning of the acronym URL? All right, Trexler? All right. URL, better known as a Uniform Resource Locator. All right. We're going to move now to our Trexler team for your 7 questions in our first round. And your first question, Trexler, is a literature question. What widely known pen name was used by the author Charles Lutwidge Dodgson? His works include Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Ty?
Lewis Carroll.
That is correct, Lewis Carroll. All right, next we have an English question for you. In the sentence, quote, as I pushed my creaky shopping cart to the checkout, I caught a whiff of freshly baked bread, end quote. What type of detail is demonstrated by the writer? All right, Swansboro? All right, we're looking there at sensory detail, Next, we have a history question for you, Trexler. During which war did Joe Rosenthal photograph U.S. Marines raising the American flag on the island of Iwo Jima in the Pacific Ocean? Caroline.
The Korean War.
That is incorrect. Swansboro? John?
The Vietnam War.
You guys are going the wrong direction. Got to go backwards for that one to World War II. World War II. All right, we have a math question for you, Trexler. Going to read it twice, and again, a little extra time to figure out the answer here. In addition to the word odd, what other mathematical adjective describes the numbers 3, 5, and 11? Again, in addition to the word odd, what other mathematical adjective describes the numbers 3, 5, and 11? Caroline.
Prime.
Prime is correct. All right, we have a science question for you now, Trexler. Which science term that begins with the letters DE can designate a type of wind erosion that removes surface materials or the release of a gas from a balloon or tire? Caroline.
Deflate.
Deflate or deflation is correct. All right, we have a geography question for you now, Trexler. Located southeast of London, in a royal borough by the same name, this district is famous for its maritime history and for giving its name to 0 degrees longitude or the prime meridian. Identify this London district. All right. Ty?
Greenwich.
Greenwich or Greenwich, that is correct. All right. And our final question for our first round, Trexler, is a music question for you. The big winner at the 2015 Grammys, this performer took home 4 awards, including Best New Artist, Best Pop Vocal Album, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year. Who is this English performer of Stay With Me? Caroline.
Sam Smith.
That is correct. And with that question, we've come to the end of our first round. We'll be right back with our score after this break.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Welcome back to Middle School Academic Derby. After our first round, the score is Swansboro 12 and Trexler 8. We're going to now move into our bonus round where either team may buzz in and answer the question. If the question is answered correctly, there will be 4 bonus questions asked, which the answer must be given to the captain of the team. We have some new players for this round, so let's introduce them now, beginning with our team from Trexler Middle School.
Sydney Davis, 8th grade.
Azelle Solomon, 7th grade.
And now our team from Swansboro Middle.
Colin Hewitt, 6th grade.
Alyssa Sabella, 8th grade.
All right, now Michaela, you're the captain for your team, and Ty, you're the captain for your team. Okay, go ahead and get your buzzers ready, and we'll begin with our first toss-up question, which is a science question. This type of bone injury can include both hairline and compound varieties. Identify the medical term that designates the various forms of a broken bone. Alyssa.
Fracture.
Fracture is correct. All right, so Swansboro got that one. So Alyssa, you guys got the question on that. So here are your 4 bonus questions. I will describe the common name of a bone or group of bones. You give the scientific name. Number 1, 2 names of the bones in the lower arm, and we need both names for those 2 bones. Number 2, the breastbone. Number 3, the cheekbone. And number 4, bones of the toes. Ty?
For our first one, I have ulna and radius. For the second one, we have the rib cage. For the third one, we have the jaw. And for the fourth one, we have phalanges.
Number 1 and number 4 were correct. Michaela, anything for number 2 or number 3? No. All right. Number 2, the breastbone is known as the sternum. And number 3, the cheekbone is the zygoma. All right. Our next toss-up question is a geography question for you. Of the 5 Great Lakes, which one borders a section of both Pennsylvania and Ohio? John?
Lake Superior.
Superior is not correct. Trexler? All right, no answer on that one. Lake Erie. Lake Erie is the lake. All right, our next toss-up question is a science question for you. An arthropod's exoskeleton is made of this tough, flexible material. Identify this fibrous substance also found in the cell walls of fungi. John?
Chitin.
Chitin is correct. All right. And Swansboro, here are your 4 bonus questions. Given a definition, identify each science term. So I'm going to give you the definition, you give me the term that is being defined. Number 1, mollusk with 2 shells held together by a hinge and a muscle. Number 2, name for the upper heart chamber of an animal. Number 3, type of feather in birds used to trap heat. And number 4, length of time between fertilization and the birth of an animal. Okay, Ty?
For number 1, we have clam. Number 2, ventricle. Number 3, tail feathers. And number 4, pregnancy.
I'm afraid none of those are correct. All right, Michaela?
For number 1, we have oyster, and for number 3, we have down feathers.
Number 3 is correct. The mollusk with the 2 shells is a bivalve, not necessarily a clam, but a bivalve, describes those general characteristics. The upper chamber of the heart is the atrium, and gestation or gestation period is the length of time between fertilization and birth. All right, we now have a math toss-up question for you. And as we did in our previous round, I'll read the question twice. You have a little time to come up with the answer. So here we go. A line has the equation x equals -3. What is its slope? Again, a line has the equation x equals -3. What is its slope? Michaela?
0.
That is not correct. Swansboro? John?
3.
Not 3. It is undefined or no slope. 0 is not the correct answer, but it's undefined or there is no slope for that particular equation. All right, our next toss-up question then is an English question. Identify the literary strategy employed when a writer provides a hint that suggests future events. Azelle?
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing is correct. All right, Trexler, here are your 4 bonus questions. Based on the given brief definition, identify each literary term. Number 1, feeling evoked when one reads a story. Number 2, the final outcome of a story. Number 3, the time and place during which a story takes place. And number 4, A break in the action of a story that returns to a previous event. All right, Michaela?
For number 1, we have mood. For number 2, we have resolution. For number 3, we have setting. And for number 4, we have flashback.
And those are all correct. Good job. All right. Our next toss-up is a history question for you. Which U.S. war, known as Mr. Madison's War, and was due in part to the impressments of U.S. sailors by the British? Alyssa?
The War of 1812.
That is correct. All right, Swansboro, here are your 4 bonus questions. I'm going to read the name of a battle or an action associated with an American war. You must identify the war. Okay, I'll give you the battle, you give me the war. Number 1, urban bombing raids employed that resulted in volcanic-like firestorms, killing 40,000 people. Number 2, end of segregated units for African Americans. Number 3, the Battle of Fort Necessity. And number 4, the Battle of Chickamauga. All right, Ty?
Okay, so for our first one, we have World War II. For our second one, we have Civil War. For the third one, we have Revolutionary War. And for the fourth one, we have Mexican American.
Number 1 is correct. All right, Michaela, anything for 2, 3, or 4?
For number 3, we have the Civil War.
No, not correct. Any others? All right. Number 1 was World War II. That was the Battle of Dresden. Number 2, the end of segregated units for African Americans was the Korean War. The French and Indian War is where we would find the Battle of Fort Necessity, and the Civil War was the Battle of Chickamauga. All right. Next, we have a literature toss-up question for you. In this novella by John Steinbeck, a poor diver named Kino is in search of a special gem, but ultimately realizes that being content is not dependent on being wealthy. Name this story. Alyssa?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
That's incorrect. Trexler? All right, that story is known as The Pearl. The Pearl. All right, we have now a trivia toss-up question for you. This animated feature film with the voices of Don Hall, Chris Williams, and Roy Conley took home the 2015 Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Name this movie. All right, that movie was Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6. All right, and that bell tells us that we have come to the end of our second round. We'll be right back with our score and our lightning round after this break. Please stay tuned.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Welcome back to the Middle School Academic Derby Lightning Round. The score at the end of our second round is Swansboro 24 and Trexler 22. We're going to meet our new team members now, starting with Trexler.
Will Mills, 8th grade.
Jolene Hutchison, 8th grade.
And now a new player for Swansboro.
River Allen, 8th grade.
All right. Now for our lightning round, we're going to be asking a series of 20 questions in 2 minutes. Remember, you must wait until I call your name before you answer. And incorrect answers will give points to the other team. So incorrect answers do give points to the other team. All right. And let me get my material ready here, and we will be ready to go. All right. Every answer in this lightning round has to do with water. Important clue there as we get into this. All right. Number 1, use of man-made channels or pipes for watering crops. Allison.
Irrigation.
Correct. Number of oceans, including the small one north of Greenland. Drew.
5.
Incorrect. Nope. Going on to the next question. All right. Reset that one. Mass of water droplets or ice particles in air. Alyssa.
Clouds.
Correct. Term for the beginning of a river. Drew.
Mouth.
Incorrect. Term for a river that flows into a larger river.
Brooks.
River Allen. River Allen?
Yes, Brooks.
Incorrect. Characteristic of an ocean designated by the salinity. Time? Any form of water that falls from a cloud to the Azelle.
Precipitation.
That is correct. Process by which water vapor in the air is turned into droplets. Azelle.
Condensation.
Correct. Scientific term for water. John. Time? All right. Frozen water. Alyssa.
Ice.
Correct. When a river overflows its banks. Will.
Flood.
Correct. What temperature does water boil? River Allen.
320 degrees.
Incorrect. What is the term for water going into the air? Azelle.
Evaporation.
Correct. Hydropower is used to produce. Azelle.
Electricity.
Correct. Water is made up of hydrogen and what? Azelle.
Oxygen.
Correct. Water covers about what percent of the Earth's surface? River Allen.
75%.
Little high, or a little, yeah, high on that one. Incorrect. The Bermuda Triangle is in what ocean? Jolene.
Atlantic Ocean.
Correct. Which ocean is also called the Peaceful Sea? Time? Boiling water creates what gas? Alyssa.
Water vapor.
We'll give you that one. Steam. How many states does water have? Will.
3.
Correct. And that is our last question. All right. Let's go through some of the ones that we didn't get here. Number of oceans, including the small one north of Greenland, there are 4 oceans. Source is the term for the beginning point of a river. A tributary is the river that flows into a larger river. Saltiness is the term that is, or characteristic designated by the salinity. Let's see, H2O is the scientific term for water. 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit is the boiling temperature. Let's see, 70% is what we were looking there for the what percentage of water covers the Earth's surface. Pacific is also the ocean that is known as the Peaceful Sea, Pacific. All right, and that was it. And we are going to be back with our final score after this break.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back. Our final score for today's match is Swansboro 30 and Trexler 52. So great match today from our two teams. I want to thank everybody for watching and ask you to please stay tuned for our next match featuring Dixon and Jacksonville Commons. Thank you.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome to Middle School Academic Derby. I'm Brent Anderson, and I'll be your moderator for today's match between the Mariners from Dixon Middle School and the Knights from Jacksonville Commons Middle School. Let's get started by introducing our teams, beginning with our team from Dixon Middle School, coached by Patty Brown.
Joy Vella, 8th grade.
Havian Hayes, 8th grade.
Alex Fisher, 7th grade.
Grace Glasgow, 6th grade.
And now our team from Jacksonville Commons Middle School, coached by Amanda Allen.
Christian Melton, 8th grade.
Anthony Somerville, 7th grade.
Arthur Brown, 8th grade.
Mackenzie Napier, 6th grade.
All right, now in our first round, we're going to ask 7 questions to each team. If the first team doesn't answer, the second team will have a chance at the same question. After the first team has heard all of their questions and had a chance to answer, the second team will have the same opportunity. We're going to begin with our team on the top row, which is our team from Jacksonville Commons Middle School. So buzzers ready, and your first question is a science question. According to the geologic time scale, these 3 long units of geologic time are made up of periods and occurred between the Precambrian and present, and include the Cenozoic, Mesozoic, and Paleozoic. Identify this general term. All right, Christian.
Prehistory.
That's incorrect. Dixon? All right, nobody there. Era is what we're looking for there, era. All right, our next question for you, Jacksonville Commons, is a trivia question. First sung in 1939 on the radio, this well-known patriotic song, written by Irving Berlin, has been called America's second national anthem. By what name is it known? Hint, its second line is Land That I Love. Arthur.
God Bless America.
That is correct. All right, our next question is a math question for you. And with our math questions, when there's computation involved, we're going to read the question twice, and you'll have a little bit of extra time to come up with the answer. If Sam is shooting free throws at practice and hits 16 out of his first 20 shots, what is his percent of free throws missed? Again, if Sam is shooting free throws at practice and hits 16 out of his first 20 shots, what is his percentage of free throws missed? Christian.
20%.
That is correct, 20%. All right, we have an English question for you now, Jacksonville Commons. Correct the usage error in the following sentence by changing one word. Here's the sentence. Everyone had a chance to express their opinion about the new school schedule. All right, Dixon? All right, the change we would make is changing their opinion to his or her. All right. Next, we have a history question for you, Jacksonville Commons. Led by both George Whitefield and Jonathan Edwards, which 18th century movement that began in the Middle Colonies renewed many people's interest in religion and altered the ways in which they worshiped? All right, Dixon? All right, that is the Great Awakening, the Great Awakening. A literature question for you now, Jacksonville Commons. After a deadly earthquake destroys his home in the Peruvian rainforest, a young bear makes its way to England in search of a new home. Name the book by Michael Bond that serves as the basis for this 2014 movie featuring Ben Whishaw. Anthony.
Paddington.
That is correct. Paddington or Paddington Bear. All right. And our final question for you, Jacksonville Commons, in this round is a geography question. Which vital waterway of the Pacific Northwest that rises in the British Rockies provides the water for the Grand Coulee Dam? All right, Dixon? All right, that river is the Columbia River, All right, Dixon, we're going to move now to you for your 7 questions, and here we go. We're going to start you out with a math question. So pencil and paper ready, read the question twice, and you have a little extra time to come up with the answer. Find the area of a trapezoid with bases of 9 meters and 11 meters and a height of 6 meters. So again, find the area of a trapezoid with bases of 9 meters and 11 meters and a height of 6 meters. All right, nobody there. Jacksonville Commons. Arthur.
60 meters.
Excuse me?
60 meters.
Can't give you that one. Very, very close, but it is 60 square meters. 60 square meters. Needed to get that definite in there. All right. So no harm, no foul on that one. We've got a history question for you now, Dixon. Which amendment to the U.S. Constitution, passed in 1791, further defined the balance of power between the federal government and the states? This article gives the federal government, among others, the power to declare war. All right, Jacksonville Commons. All right, that would be the 10th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the 10th Amendment. All right, science question for you now, Dixon. During Benjamin Franklin's famous key and kite experiment, what type of container did he charge by drawing down electricity from the clouds through a key at the end of a string? Jacksonville Commons. All right. The container was a jar, or more appropriately, a Leyden jar. Next, we have a trivia question for you, Dixon. In January of 2015, researchers located the lost lander Beagle 2 on the surface of which planet after it had gone missing 11 years earlier? Ironically, the planet upon which it was found was its original destination. Alex.
Jupiter?
No, not Jupiter. Jacksonville Commons.
Mars?
Christian.
Oh, Mars.
Mars is correct. Mars is correct. All right. We have Dixon now, a geography question for you. Which major river of the North American continent flows from its source in British Columbia through Canada and Alaska before it empties into the Bering Sea? Joey.
The Yukon?
That is correct, the Yukon River. All right. Dixon, the next question for you is a literature question. Identify the body part that completes the title of the chilling Edgar Allan Poe classic, The Telltale Blank. Joey.
Heart.
That is correct. All right, and our last question for our first round is an English question for you. Classify the following sentence by its structure. So here's the sentence. Mr. Ironside, who excels at solving mysteries, is inept at completing his written reports. And Jacksonville Commons? All right, the structure of that sentence would be described as complex, a complex sentence. All right, and that brings us to the end of our first round. We'll be right back with our score after these messages.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
back to middle school academic derby. After our first round, our score is Dixon 4 and Jacksonville Commons 8. We're going to move now into our bonus round, where either team may buzz in and answer the question. If the question is answered correctly, there will be 4 bonus questions asked in which the answer must be given to the captain of the team. We have some new team members, so let's introduce them now, beginning with our team from Dixon Middle School.
Jack Wilds, grade 8.
James Panagakis, 7th grade.
Jacob Wilson, grade 6.
And now our team, new players from Jacksonville Commons Middle.
Annalise Staley, 6th grade.
Kaya Vina, 8th grade.
Hunter Ellison, 8th grade. Troy Phillips, 7th grade.
All right. Now, Havian, you're the captain for your team. Yes, sir. And Hunter, you're the captain for your team. Yes, all right. Let's go ahead and pick up our buzzers, and we're going to begin with our question. And our first toss-up is an English question. Which noun that begins with a K refers to the center timber or steel plate that runs along the lowest part of the bottom of a ship? All right, that K word is keel. The keel is what we're looking for there. Next, we have a sports toss-up question for you. The official rules of the National Football League require footballs to be inflated to a gauge pressure between 12.5 and 13.5 pounds per square inch when measured by the referees. Following the New England Patriots win over the Baltimore Colts in the AFC Championship game in 2015, what 2-word phrase became the identifying mark of the Patriots' use of underinflated footballs in their win? Havian.
The deflate gate.
That is correct, deflate gate. All right, Dixon, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each sports personality in the news in 2015. I'm going to read you something about a person. You tell me who the person is. Number 1, professional golfer who injured his ankle playing soccer in July 2015, forcing him to miss the British Open. Number 2, athlete who claimed his 3rd Iditarod championship in March 2015. Number 3, U.S. women's goalie who took home the Adidas Gold Glove Trophy in the 2015 World Cup. And number 4, men's Swiss professional tennis player required to remove his orange-soled shoes at Wimbledon 2015. He went on to claim runner-up honors.
We have nothing.
Nothing on any of them? All right. Jacksonville Commons, how about you guys, Hunter?
Nothing.
No? All right. The golfer was Rory McIlroy. Dallas Seavey was the Iditarod Championship winner. Hope Solo was our goalie. And Roger Federer was our tennis player for number 4. All right, next question we have is a geography toss-up question. In times of lower sea levels, to which other continent did the Bering Land Bridge connect North America? All right, that land mass it connected to was Asia. Asia is what we're looking for there. All right, our next toss-up question is a trivia question for you. Give the 3 colors of the French flag. Jack.
Yellow, blue, and red.
Not correct. Jacksonville Commons? Hunter.
White, blue, and red.
White, blue, and red. That is correct. So same as ours. All right. So Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. So pencil and paper ready if you want to write anything down. Complete each of the following threesomes. I'm going to give you the first 2 and then a blank. You give me the 3rd one that goes along with it. Number 1, animal, vegetable, and blank. Number 2, Tom, Dick, and blank. Number 3, game, set, and blank. And number 4, lock, stock, and blank. Hunter?
For 1, we got mineral. 2, Brady. 3, match. And drop for 4.
All right. So number 1 and number 3. Tell me what you have for number 2 again.
Brady.
Incorrect. All right. Number 2 and number 4. Haven, anything for that one? Or for those two?
Stock markets for 4.
No, incorrect on that one. Let's see. Number 2 was Tom, Dick, and Harry. And number 4, lock, stock, and barrel. Lock, stock, and barrel. All right, next we have a human body toss-up question for you. Which of the following structures are shaped like sausages or rods and known as the powerhouses of the cell in the human body? Jack.
The mitochondria.
That is correct. All right. Dixon, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each of the following cell processes. Cell processes. Number 1, sum of all the activities that occur in a living cell. Excuse me. Number 2, division of the nucleus and the cytoplasm and the duplication of the chromosomes. Number 3, the manner in which food, oxygen, water, and other materials enter and leave the cell. And number 4, special type of movement by which water passes in and out of the cell. All right, Havian?
For number 1, we have mitosis, and for number 3, we have cellular respiration. And sorry, number 2 is supposed to be mitosis.
Okay. All right, number 2 was correct. That was correct. And that was it. All right, Hunter, anything for 1, 3, or 4?
No.
No? All right. Number 1 was metabolism. Number 3 was diffusion. And number 4 is osmosis. All right. Next up, we have a U.S. government question for you. Which senator from Indiana was chosen as George H.W. Bush's vice president in 1988? All right, nobody on that one. Goes back a little ways. Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle was the vice president in 1988. All right, our next toss-up question is a U.S. capitals question. Which U.S. state capital is the site of the Iolani Palace, the only royal palace on U.S. soil? In 1778, James Cook first discovered this area and its Polynesian natives. Jack.
Honolulu.
That is correct, Honolulu. All right. Dixon, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each of the following U.S. state capitals. I'm going to read you a description of something from that capital or about that capital or about the state. You tell me the state capital. Number 1, one where in 1639 English settlers created what some regard as the first written constitution, a document known as the Fundamental Orders. Number 2, one that became a boom town when the Pikes Peak or Bust gold rush began 1 year after it was founded in 1858. Number 3, one formerly called Terminus and used as a Confederate supply base during the Civil War. And number 4, one formerly called Fort Orange and the site of the presentation of Benjamin Franklin's Plan of Union in 1754. All right, Havian?
Number 1, we have Boston, and number 3, we have Austin.
Okay, neither of those are correct. Hunter, anything for the bonus questions?
For 1, we had Richmond.
That is not correct. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Number 1 was Hartford, Connecticut. So Hartford. Number 2 was Denver. Pikes Peak in Colorado, Denver. Number 3, terminus, that Confederate supply base, was Atlanta. And number 4, the Albany Plan of Union. Albany, New York, the Albany Plan of Union. Okay. Next, we have a math toss-up question for you. So just as in our first round, read the question twice, and you have some extra time to come up with the answer. What is the sum of 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 and x squared minus x plus 7? Again, what is the sum of 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 and x squared minus x plus 7? Jack.
4x squared plus 3x minus 12.
That is incorrect. Jacksonville Commons? All right. Looking for 3x squared plus 2x plus 2. All right. And that bell tells us that we have come to the end of our second round. Please stay tuned for our lightning round. We'll be right back with that and our score after this break.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Welcome back to the Middle School Academic Derby Lightning Round. At the end of our second round, our score is Dixon 12 and Jacksonville Commons 14. So a very close match going into our lightning round. We have some new team members to meet from Jacksonville Commons Middle School, so let's meet them now.
Francesca Soto, 7th grade.
Josh Rojas, 8th grade.
Nolan Jackson, 8th grade.
All right. Now for our lightning round, we're going to be asking a series of 20 questions in 2 minutes. Remember, players, you must wait until I call your name before you answer, and any incorrect answers will give points to the other team. And when you give us an answer, make sure that you give it nice and loud and clear so that I can hear you. The microphones are going to pick you up fine, but make sure that we're going to hear it and we can hear it here in the studio as well. All right. So if you would, go ahead and pick up your buzzers, and I will tell you that for this lightning round, all of the answers are going to be either north, south, east, or west. One of those four. There's not going to be any like northeast or southwest. It's going to be north, south, east, or west. One of those four directions that we're looking at there. Okay? So buzzers ready, and we are going to get started. Vancouver is blank of Quebec. Joey.
West.
Correct. Saudi Arabia is blank of India. Joey.
West.
Correct. Sweden is blank of Germany. Joey.
North.
Correct. Portugal is blank of Spain. Joey.
West.
Correct. Washington, D.C. is blank of Richmond, Virginia. Joey.
North.
Correct. Antarctica is blank of the United States. Mackenzie.
South.
Correct. Little Rock is blank of Phoenix, Arizona. Joey.
East.
Correct. Portland, Maine is blank of Boston, Massachusetts. Joey.
North.
Correct. Vietnam is blank of the Philippines. Jacob.
South,
Oh, incorrect. Okay. Chile is blank of Venezuela. Joey.
South.
Correct. Florida State is blank of Cuba. Mackenzie.
North.
Correct. Wilmington, North Carolina is blank of Jacksonville, North Carolina. Joey.
South.
Correct. Idaho is blank of Washington and Oregon State. Joey.
East.
Correct. Russia is blank of Alaska. Joey.
East.
Incorrect. Uruguay is blank of Brazil. Time. Iceland is blank of Norway. Joey.
West.
Correct. Spain is blank of France. Joey.
West.
Incorrect. Mongolia is blank of Thailand. Joey.
North.
Correct. Carteret County is blank of Onslow County. Joey.
North.
Incorrect. Greenland is blank of Brazil. Alex?
North.
That is correct. All right, and that is our 20 questions. All right, going through some that we didn't get. Vietnam is west of the Philippines. Let's see, Russia is west of Alaska. So going to the west there. Uruguay is south of Brazil. Spain is south of France. Okay, we're looking for south on that one. Carteret County is east of Onslow County. So you got to go to the east to get to Carteret. All right. Good job on that one. And that is the end of our lightning round. We'll be right back with our final score after this break. Welcome back. Our final score for today's match is Dixon 38 and Jacksonville Commons 26. I want to thank everybody for joining us on Middle School Academic Derby, and for all of us at Onslow County Schools, thanks for watching and have a great evening.